Good morning, everyone. My name's Lauren. I am the dyer behind lolodidit, and this is my second podcast. I can't even believe it. I got such great, amazing feedback last week that I thought I would go ahead and do this again to have an opportunity to show you guys all of the different colorways that came out this week, and talk a little bit about what I'm working on or things that are coming up. So I'm really excited to share with you. So today, gosh, this has been so long in the making. As you guys know, hippos are our thing. Like, that is our mascot. This is what we do. And that came from I guess it was 2015. I was doing some Christmas colorways at that time, and Hippo for Christmas came about. And that was really, truly 100% inspired by my sister, who, when she was little, all she did all Christmas long, and Christmas, of course, for her started in like September. All Christmas long, she sang, "I want a hippopotamus for Christmas." And so I had to have a colorway dedicated to her in that memory because it was so much fun. Our whole family got into it. She definitely got a hippopotamus for Christmas. A stuffed one, of course. And we just had a ton of fun with that. So that's where the colorway came from. And then last year, it's my favorite Christmas colorway that I dye. It's my favorite memory of my sister. So I couldn't just give up hippos. So I decided to make hippos for all the holidays because we just all need hippos, right? So this time, this season, is Hippo for Thanksgiving. We've had, gosh, how many? This is the 9th Hippo colorway for this year. But of course, we still have Hippo for Christmas and Hippo for New Year's coming up. But the 9th Hippo colorway, this is Hippo for Thanksgiving. And I just put it on the shop yesterday. I put it on the shop yesterday on Thursday. So this is available, guys. And like I said last week, we were pretty far behind. I was about 2 weeks behind on wanting to get this all done for you guys. So I put a lot on the shop. I know it's not going to be enough, so like always, we're continuously dyeing it, and any day that it's ready and dried and twisted and tagged, then I put it up on the shop. So you don't have to wait for shop updates or anything. I just put them up, and then if you see them, snag them. I don't usually announce that I have restocked it until about a week after the release, when things start to calm down a little bit. Sometimes it's been 2 weeks depending on the craziness. So this is available right now. I'm so excited. I love these colors. They just remember, so I live in Las Vegas, for you guys who don't know, and I grew up in Indiana. I grew up in colors like this. So to have it come again, just to be able to create those colorways and those memories of fall and everything, when the seasons really don't change that much around here, it's really fun for me. And then we also have the Thanksgiving pack. This is all of the tonal colors that match. So that's up too. You can find that in the shop tonal section, and the hippos are in the shop everything hippo section because I have way too much hippo stuff going on. So to kind of change gears, I wanted to show you something else that I put on the shop yesterday that was really exciting to me. This was something that I watched Sarah of the Love Sock Wolves podcast, and she was knitting up Dobby Socks, which is one of my colorways. It's right here, Dobby Socks. And it reminds me, I love Harry Potter. I mean, who doesn't love Harry Potter? I love Harry Potter, but I, in particular, really love Dobby's character. I've read the books, I think, 3 times, and watched the movies a couple of times as well, and I just love his character. And so every time I get to that point where he's got socks, and Hermione's knitting, and there's socks for Christmas and all this stuff, these are the colors that came to mind. Despite whatever the colors that they said in the books, this is what I thought of. So as I saw other people knitting this, it's just a really beautiful variegated, really, really nicely variegated colorway. And doesn't have pooling. It's really, really nice. They mesh really well together, and I love that. But then when I went to knit a sock, I was like, man, I wish the Fame pooled a little bit more on Dobby Socks. So I switched the way I dyed it to kind of manipulate the way that it was knitting up and to try to get a little bit more pooling on the Fame so you could see it a little bit more distinctly. And so this is what happened. So instead of being really variegated, now you can distinctly see the strips of Fame and the strips of the maroony pink in there and the blue and everything that's going on in this. And I'm obsessed. I love it. So I did a whole batch of it because, why? I wanted this colorway, and so why not dye for everybody? So I did a whole batch of this. This is not something that I'm going to do if ever again often, because it does pool, and so a lot of people really, really like something a little bit more highly variegated, which is great, and I do too, especially when knitting garments and things. But for socks, oh my gosh, I love it. I used Fame as the heel, and this was dyed a while ago, but you can see how beautifully tonal that is. I don't know if you guys can tell through the video, but it's beautiful. Anyway, so I called this colorway Dobby Socks Remix, just because it is totally a remix. I re-recipeed it, I redid the whole thing and tried it again and tried to knit it up, and this is how it turned out, and I'm in love. So I hope you guys love it too. There's not a ton on the shop because I just did one small batch of it just to see what it would look like, but I hope you guys like it and snag it up while it's available. So another thing that I did, so speaking of socks, last week I talked about my Barely There collection, which everyone is just dying over. It's just so nice and really, really tonal and not a ton of speckling because I'm a speckle crazy person. Like, I love speckles, I love all the color, I love pow in your face, everything. But this one is really, really subtle. So this is the Barely There collection, just to see a sample of it knit up. The main colorway is Bubbles from the collection, and then the heels and toes is Beauty School Dropout. So I wanted to show you because a lot of people are like, well, Barely There, how many speckles does it have? What does it look like? I tell people it's really tonal, and really you can see how much, when you knit it up, how beautifully variegated it is. I love it. So I just knit this pair of socks, and these are going to be gifted because they're way too small for me, so I'm going to have to give them away. But I told you that I have a circular sock machine. I'm still learning it, and this is one of those things that I just did not knit the right size, unfortunately. But that's okay. Someone else is going to be really, really happy with this. So this is the Barely There collection knit up, and most of them are available ready to ship, and we're already dyeing it on Lolo's Favorite, which is my merino cashmere nylon base, and Solo, which is my singles merino fingering weight base. So we have some of those ready to ship. Right now it still says dye to order because not all of them are ready to ship, but as the orders come in, we're going to continue dyeing them on all 4 of those bases: Everyday Sock, Plush Sock, Lolo's Favorite, and Solo. Those ones will be ready to ship, hopefully in the next 2 weeks. Oh, I have the other sock. I thought I forgot it. So you can see both socks. This one is also, because the speckling looks different on both of them, so I wanted to show you guys. Really, really pretty. I'm really happy with these. These sock blockers came from Perfectly Catchy Designs that I buy every time I go to a Stitches, either Midwest or West. Both times that I went, I've kind of stocked up on them. I'm a little obsessed. I love them. And then the last sock that I knit up, this is Da Bears. I am a huge Bears fan. I'm also a huge football fan. I love sports. I love going to live games, but I definitely watch NFL football on TV every weekend. Every Monday night, every Thursday night, forget about it, I'm watching it. So this is the Bears. I have a lot of NFL colors and a couple of other sports colors like Cubbies is also on the shop because I'm a Chicago girl. This is how all of the sports colorways knit up. They're all micro striped, so if you are making socks, this is how it will knit up, which I thought is really fun for socks. I like micro striping a lot for socks, but it's especially fun for sports because you've got all the colors and it's crazy and I love it. So this one is Da Bears and this is Blazing Sevens, which has to be my favorite orange that I carry. I think I've used it in 4 different pairs of socks now for heels and toes because I just can't not. It's too pretty, so I love it. So that's that one. Chicago Bears. I have hope this year. I actually have hope with Trubisky. I hope they keep on playing him, and I hope he doesn't get hurt. For all of you non-football people, I'm sorry. So I'm going to show you a couple more things that I put on the shop since Monday. I've been putting I moved away from shop updates because I think it's stressful for you guys, but it's also really stressful for me too. Trying to make sure that I have everything ready and everything photographed at a specific time during the week. Started to get a little crazy because I usually put 8 or 9 restocks of colorways up on the shop, plus we almost always have a new colorway almost every week. So it started to get a little overwhelming. So I decided to see what you guys thought. I sent out a newsletter asking for opinions, and the overwhelming majority of you guys said, I don't want shop updates anymore. And so that was pretty cool. I liked it. So now I've been putting stuff on the shop almost every day. I'll just put up a colorway and move it to the top of the page so that you guys know that it's new, or hopefully you know that it's new. And then every few days I'll send out a newsletter kind of summarizing what I've put on the shop and what's available, and have all of the announcements. So that's what I've been doing. It seems to be working fine. I think that you guys like it. If any of you have ever sent me feedback, you know I'm really, really good about taking it and trying to implement it if I can, or if it's what the majority are saying, then I try to do that. So I definitely listen, so if you guys have any feedback for me, you can always tell me. So what I've been putting on the shop since Monday starts with Sweet Tooth. This one is so cute. I love sweets. I could live off of sugar, even though it's terrible, terrible, terrible for me. I love it. So this one I dyed up a lot to restock the shop, but I also wanted to show you what I had. I knit up a little guy. I can't stop knitting these. I think there's like 3 in the background here that I've knit. But this is the Voodoo You Love Me pattern by Susan Claudino. And this is just too cute. I knit this on the plush sock base. That's just to kind of go over bases. That is probably my go-to base for almost everything. Anything that uses fingering weight, I almost always pick plush sock unless I'm doing something that is next to my skin here, and then I do Lolo's favorite because it's my favorite. Who doesn't like cashmere? But this little guy is so cute. So that's Sweet Tooth knit up, just so you guys had a little example of that. So cute. Can't see it. Oh, eyes are from the 6060 Eyes, and the heart I got off of Etsy, but I can't remember where I got it from. But it's just a little button wooden heart that I use all the time. I love it. Sorry for my hands, by the way. Oh my gosh. This is your fault. This is what you guys did to me. I am dying, insanely dying walkers in blood. So I've got the first 3 days of batches of what you guys ordered dyed and on the drying rack, so we'll ship those out on Monday, and then the rest of them I'll just continue dyeing next week and see how fast I can get them out. But yeah, this is your fault. I guess it's my fault that I won't wear gloves, but I'm stubborn. So Zombies and Blood was last year, so I thought I'd show this too. Since we're talking about knitted babies, I can't stop knitting stuffed knitted creatures. They're so cute. This was last year's Zombies and Blood, so this is the Zombies colorway, which is a regular colorway. I dye it all the time. It's available on my shop now. And then the Blood, which is exclusive to the Zombies and Blood kit that I've done in the past, and the Walkers and Blood kit that I have right now. And I got these little buttons will have lolodidit on there. That's from All This Wood on Instagram. So, super cute. Oh, I designed this pattern. Yeah, I probably should talk about that. This is Roxy the Hippo. This is inspired by all of the hippos, and the name comes from the writer of the song, John Rocks? Gosh, I think so, John Rocks. And then I named her after him. So that's where Roxy the Hippo came from. This is a pattern that's available on Ravelry and on my website. I also do have kits, and this was like a marathon knit. I knit this over the weekend of 4th of July because I couldn't stand not having a mascot. Like, why does a person who knits stuffies constantly, I always have them on the go, why don't I have a hippo on the go? So I had to knit it, and so that's where she came from. Okay, other things that are on the shop. This is, I already told you about that, Dobby Socks Remix. So this one will pool with the different colors. I put a bunch of NFL colors. This is Go Hawks, America's Team, which is for the Cowboys, Cheeseheads for the Packers. You guys, I am a Bears fan through and through. I can't believe I even dyed this. But I have changed the green on it from the original. So if you guys have the original, it's a pretty bright green. I love it. But people asked me to make it a little darker, so that's what this is. The new recipe. And Killer Bees for the Steelers. So those are all of the football colorways that I've restocked. Some people have been asking me, like, how many more team colorways will you do? And really, I'm just dyeing them as people have asked me. You guys filled out a survey, and I have dyed all of the popular ones that everybody asked for. If you guys voted for, like, 1 or 2 people voted for a team, then I didn't do that. So that's available. That survey is still available on my website. If you wanted to go to my galleries, photo galleries, and click on sports teams, you'll see that survey, and I do listen to what you guys want, but I don't have plans to dye more unless you guys go nuts for something. And then as we continue through the years, I'll probably add more sports and more teams, but right now I'm just focusing on the NFL because that's my personal favorite one to watch. This colorway, so The Walking Dead's coming up. I also dyed the I Heart Carl because that one was out of stock, and I think I Heart Daryl is also out of stock, so I'll be dyeing that next week to make sure we have some for this season. These are all, the entire series, including I Heart Negan and Lucille, they were all dyed to be a cohesive group. So I really tried to make sure the palette was really, really similar throughout. They would knit up very similarly, and they would look good together. So they're meant to be a group. They're meant to be a set. For people who are doing find your fades or different kinds of fades, or even patterns that have striping that are in a sequence, like the Fabulous Abacus by the Webster Street Knittery, that I'm knitting that right now. They're all meant to kind of go together. So I hope you guys can see that. I know I've posted pictures of them all together before, but I should probably do that again so you can see. But this is I Heart Carl. Carl. You guys, the people who don't watch the show, you're gonna think I'm crazy, like, Carl. But the people who do watch it, you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of Webster Street Knittery, I have a collaboration that's going on with her. I finally got her yarn out to her, and she just received it today, which is super exciting. So she is going to design another shawl, which I'm a huge fan of the way that that she makes her shapes, that she writes the patterns really simple, easy to follow, and it's something that you can kind of just pick up and set down, and you don't have to have a lot of dedicated time, which is, for me, that's a big deal, because I can catch an hour here or there, but usually throughout the week, I only knit maybe 2 to 3 hours a week. So it's really nice to have that kind of pattern. So she's really good at that. Her name's Jen. So this is a colorway that I designed specifically inspired by her, inspired by things that she loves, and it's going to be one of the colorways that she's using in her design, which is really exciting. So we will both release this colorway at the same time as it gets ready to be published and all of that. So this isn't ready yet, but I wanted to show you because it's so pretty. This is Freaking Weekend. So pretty. Because I had to do hot pink because she loves hot pink. And then we needed a little bit of softer tones in there. So that's what that is. This is inspired. So no joke. She messages me and she's like, okay, Lauren, I think I've figured out what kind of colors and you got to figure it out from what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay. So I just get done chit-chatting with her on Instagram and going over the design and all of this stuff. And I put in my earbuds and I turn on the 90s station because that's what I've been listening to lately, and Ignition comes on. and I'm like, oh no, I know what colorway this is going to be. So of course it had to be Freaking Weekend. I'm really glad that she likes that song because I sent it to her without even telling her what my inspiration was for the name. But this is going to be, you guys. I love it. So this is on my solo base, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it yet. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. It's really pretty. It's very, very soft. Merino singles. So I can't wait for her to release this pattern. She hasn't even started knitting it yet. And I'm like, oh, when is it going to be available? So I think that's it for today. I'll stop there. I hope you guys love seeing everything and the stories behind it and what's been going on this week. Everything that I talked about right now is available on the shop. Walkers and Blood is still available until next weekend, so I will continue to dye it for people. It's all a dyed-to-order listing, and you can pick your yarn base. And I plan on seeing you guys next Friday, so I hope you guys love it. Have a great weekend.